This is probably going to be a pretty brief video. If you haven't heard, and I find that very hard to believe, especially if you have a smartphone, the 45, I refuse to call him the president, I'm just calling him the 45, has decided to tentatively reopen the government for 3 weeks. As of Friday, January 25th, 2019, he made his speech in which he said that they came to a no border wall agreement to reopen the government for 3 weeks. This means starting Monday through Friday, February 15th, the government will be open unless something changes, and then they might open the government altogether past that time. But at this point, I don't think it's actually going to happen. Now, this kind of caught some people off by surprise, but when I factored in some of the things that were going on, and there were three of them that stuck out to me. Actually, there was four of them. No, I take that back. It was three that came to my attention. I said, you know what? I think I know why he did it. Number one, if you don't know, Roger Stone, one of the people that was close to Trump in his cabinet, was recently had his house raided by the FBI, in which he was arrested, but of course he was later bonded out, $250,000 bond. That's one thing. Two, his State of the Union address is on Tuesday. Now, had the government still been shut down, he would not have been able to give that State of the Union address. And number three, I think was the big one. Number three was the aviation unions, with the airlines and everything like that. They basically said, look, if the government doesn't open back up, then we're going to have to do mass cancellations. I just did a video talking about that. And with air traffic control, they're federally funded, so without them they can't track the planes. Like, they're the ones that are the eyes and ears of the plane, determining traffic. They determine the weather, whether a plane or a flight gets canceled, and all types of stuff. It literally goes through them. They are like the last line of communication, and without them it's kind of like running kind of off. And then they mentioned something about the Super Bowl, and I actually found about this from my coworker. Did you know that the security that does the Super Bowl are federally funded? If the government was shut down, the Super Bowl that happens in Atlanta on Sunday, February 3rd, they would have no security. That means anybody could just run up in there, which is going to be heavily populated with a lot of people because it is a huge event, even though we're not watching it. But the safety of those people will be at stake, because they didn't have any security because they're federal funded. So I think when you factor all of that stuff in, that's why. And you got to think it's only for 3 weeks. They said that, well, he said, 45 said that we're going to reopen it for 3 weeks. And he said, if I don't get what I want, which is that $5 billion for that wall, even though we know the shutdown is not just about that wall, then he's going to shut down the government again and declare it as a national emergency. So to all the people who are federal funded workers, enjoy this time while it lasts, because it's going to be short lived. And I think a lot of people who work in the government who are federally funded have come to realize this. So don't get too excited. Don't get too comfortable. Enjoy these 3 weeks while it lasts, because it's going to come and go very fast. And yeah, I don't know what he's got cooked up up his sleeve. He sometimes can be predictable, and in some cases he's not predictable. That's just the way it is. They come to constant stalemates, on both sides every single time. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I know every single thing involving this shutdown. It's like, I think I'm just giving you surface information, but enough information nonetheless. But yeah. So it's only going to be for 3 weeks, starting Monday. So the federal workers, they can start getting paid. I think they are going to get, I don't know how many checks they're going to get. I think 2, maybe. I don't know if the back paycheck is one of them, but I do know this. Whatever they do get paid is going to be heavily taxed, because they missed a lot of days. And you know what? It's unfortunate. But as for the people who voted for him, you already know how I feel, and that's absolutely not a goddamn thing.